it is to the situations around it, or situations, atmosphere around will define the quality of a creature's life. A being means you know how to be. If you know how to be, the atmosphere around you, situations around you should not decide how you are. You know how to be means you decide how you are. If this one thing, you take a commitment this year and these 48 days, a simple process if you do, you can easily get there. It's not some humongous task, but Sadhguru, my anger, my fear, leave those things. You must understand, your anger, your fear and whatever else you have, these are not your qualities. These are the things you create right now. You have a faulty machine, so it's churning out anger, fear, nonsense all the time. You can also churn out joy, love, happiness, blissfulness, ecstasy. You can also churn that out. You just have to understand the mechanics of how this body and this mind functions. If you do not take charge of these mechanics, then accidentally it is churning out something. If you live accidentally, of course, anxiety is natural. How else to be? That's the only way to be. So, essentially, a being means this moment you have a choice how to be. If you had a choice, I trust your intelligence, even if you… Were anybody promoted straight from being a donkey to human being here? No? You went through the whole process of evolution. That's good. In case you are there, but even if you are there, that means once you have become a human being, even if you were a donkey yesterday, you have a choice. This is what human being means. This is what a being means. You have a choice as to how to be right now. If you make this choice, I know you have the intelligence to choose the best possible thing for yourself. Let's make that happen. I heard a lot of questions, please.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. So, my question is, have you ever made a New Year resolution you could not keep?
Oh. I've never had a resolution that I could not keep because I never made a resolution. I had my life resolved long time ago, so I don't make any resolution. I'm fully resolved. Yes, I want you also to be fully resolved. You must make it happen at the earliest.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru.
Where are you?
On your left, 45 degree. Yeah. So right now there has been a lot of attention and focus on Ram Mandir, which has been built in Ayodhya. So I wanted to know and understand like why is it just built for some cultural or historic significance, or does it have a larger purpose as well? You also have been talking about establishing infrastructure for spiritual growth. So I just wanted to know.
Well, you're getting me into a political storm. I don't want to start a new year with a political storm around me, but how can you avoid it living in India? So you must understand, all the excitement that you see about Ram Mandir is because it's a 500-year aspiration. And There is a whole history to it that most people who are just looking at the news channels may not understand. There is a lot of intricate history, but still it took this long for something so simple, which was destroyed and which had to be built back as it's been done in every other culture. But somehow, unfortunately, political forces and all kinds of things, it went on. But now, what does this mean? Why Ram now? See, if you look at Ram's life, nearly 6,000 plus years, I think, ago, till recently, he still had real estate issues. That long. When he was alive, at the age of 19, he was coronated as a king. But due to some politics, he was banished into the forest. With his newly married wife, she's not an Adivasi, she's a princess, unfit to live in the forest, I'm saying. But he had to go, knowing how difficult it is to live in the jungle with this young woman. His brother left his family and he also went because it's not a honeymoon, it is for hardship. Somebody is being sent into the forest not for honeymoon, but to see that their life becomes very hard. So his brother goes with him to assist. And his other brother, who feels that, who is now coronated, who feels a great injustice has been done to his elder brother, doesn't want to sit on the throne. So when Rama, Sita and Lakshmana are just walking out of Ayodhya at that time, he comes and says, there is… all these artists in Chennai have a funny story about this because there are musical and dance pieces around it, that when he's just leaving to the jungle, his brother says, please give me your footwear, I will place your footwear upon the throne and I will rule in your name, but I will never sit on the throne. This is out of his humility. But when a man is going to the jungle, you take away his footwear. I'm saying how many difficulties. Good people those who intend good things and those who intend evil things, both of them causing lot of trouble to him. Then he goes to the jungle as if that was not enough, as they were settling down, then here comes from Sri Lanka a visitor and kidnaps his wife. Sri Lanka is not next door, that guy is supposed to have an airplane. He went away in his Vimana, but Rama doesn't have an airplane. They steal your wife and take her away. Not today, you don't know where is Sri Lanka, you don't know what it is. You have to walk 3,000 kilometers to get to Sri Lanka. But the man makes the journey. He is a king. Wife goes away, he can find a local solution. But he is not that kind. He wants to get his wife back because he feels, one thing is he loves her, another thing he feels he should not allow this injustice to go unpunished. So he goes, he doesn't have an army, just him and his brother, two young men walking 3,000 kilometers. You know the story because here we are in Tamil Nadu, here people call him Raman. This happened, there he was Ram, when he entered Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, we called him Rama. The moment he came into Tamil Nadu, they made him Raman. He came here and looked, it's an island, you have to cross it. Then you have to get the local people to build some kind of a makeshift bridge. Then you have to build an army with the local people, go across, fight. Unfortunately, had to burn down a beautiful city and kill your enemy, who also is a great devotee of Shiva. So Rama is regretful. He knows he's kidnapped his wife, he has to do what he has to do. but he's very regretful that he's killing such a great devotee. And then he comes back and he goes into Himalayas to repent for 1 year because he killed a Shiva devotee. Then he comes and becomes a king after 12 years of exile. Then his wife is pregnant. Then once again a political situation arises where citizens are gossiping about his wife and they're saying, what kind of a queen mother do we have? She's been out for so many years. The subjects that he rules upon more important than his own family and his personal emotions and his hardships and everything. So he sends her into the jungle once again, a pregnant woman. For a king, he's going to have his progeny, it's not a small thing. And there is no sonogram, he does not know whether it's boy or girl or boys or girls. Well, she goes into the jungle and delivers 2 boys, he doesn't know. They grow up to be 12-year-olds. See, in a man's life, if anything truly terrible has to happen, knowingly or unknowingly you kill your own children, that is the worst thing that can happen to you. He almost did it, very close, fortunately it did not happen. And then he never got to see Sita, she died in the jungle. I'm saying his life is a serial disaster. So why so much spirit about Ram? Because this is a civilization which values mukti or liberation as the highest value. Through all this serial disasters that are happening to his life, he remains unfazed. He is not an insensitive man, he is not a ruthless man, he is very gentle, he is loving, but he doesn't become angry, he doesn't become hateful, he doesn't fill himself with angst and negativity. He does tapasya for having killed his enemy. This is the quality we are bowing down to. When we say Rama, we don't say God, we say Maryada Purushottam. Purushottam literally means a very superior human being. This is what people have been bowing down to, this is the fundamental ethos of this civilization. So, Ram temple is not a religious thing, as you know, there are political overtones to it because of so many things, but essentially it is a civilization reclaimed. It is a civilizational aspect, moving from simplistic belief systems of there is a God somewhere and he will take care of everything for us, or he will take us to heaven, from that to individual human beings working for their emancipation, individual human beings longing and seeking their liberation, how to transcend the limitations of our physiological and psychological processes, that even when we are alive here, how to be beyond that. So any human being, if he rises beyond that, not being in a cocoon of protection, being out in the world, even fighting a battle, how to fight a battle without anger, without hatred, this is what he displayed. He fought battles very fiercely, but without anger, without hatred, without any kind of angst against the enemy that he was fighting. So this if you do in your life, you also become a Maryada Purushottam. So here, it is not about gods descending from heaven. This is a civilization where human beings can rise to become divine. This is the possibility, this is the yoga, this is the spiritual process, this is the land. And this is important not just for Bharat, this is important for the world. As in the video something was coming out like that. See, in my estimate, in the next 35 to 40 years, at least minimum 70% of the people will not ascribe to any religion. Dogmatic religion will be out in the next generation. Right now, in United States, I'm talking about 2018 statistics. In 2018, before the COVID, in all the forms that citizens fill up, 29% of the people say no religion. In United Kingdom, 32% of the people say no religion. In Western Europe, 43% of the people say no religion. I am telling you, in another 35 years' time, over 70% will be openly declaring no religion. When this happens, the aspiration to meet God, the aspiration to go to that cocoon called heaven, when this goes away, what will human beings do? One thing is, they can become alcoholics, drug addicts and crazy things, doing all kinds of stuff, or they could become meditative. I have already asked you this question, I am asking you once again. M for mental illness, M for meth, M for marijuana, M for meditation. What are we going to make out of this world? This is the important responsibility. In this direction, this Ram temple and similar structures which represent that quality is important, but because people need iconic representations to aspire for that.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru.
Where are you? Okay.
Around 3 years back, while chanting, I had a very bad experience. Since
What is that?
then, I have a bad experience.
Of what?
While chanting Yogeshwaraya chant, since then I've been struggling. I have tried a little bit here and there, but couldn't make things work. Can you please look into it?
It looks like even now with the microphone you're having a bad experience. Shankaran Pillai went on a hunting expedition with his American friend. Both were walking in the jungle, steep slopes up the mountain. Of course, they had to carry a rifle. Apart from that, his friend was carrying a large metal cage on his shoulders. And Shankaran Pillai was carrying a 5-foot-long concrete pole on his shoulders. Because both were huffing and puffing to go up the slopes, they stopped. And Shankaran Pillai looked at his friend and asked, "Why are you carrying that metal cage on a hunting expedition?" His friend said, "If a wild animal comes, if a grizzly bear comes and attacks, then I will go into the cage and lock myself and I will be safe." Then Shankaran Pillai noted, okay, that makes sense. And they continued to climb up, and as they got steeper and steeper, lungs were in the mouth. Then they stopped again. Then the other guy asked, "But why are you carrying a concrete pole?" So Shankaran Pillai said, "Suppose any wild animal like a grizzly chases me, I'll drop the pole and I'll run much faster." You're like that. Unnecessary things you carry upon your head, and then you think, why is every simple thing a problem? Yogeshwara chant is the simplest thing you can do. Chant will not give you a bad experience. People have bad experiences doing something and not doing anything. Yes or no? Hello? People have bad experience because they're not educated. People have bad experience because they went to school. People have bad experience because they're not married. People have bad experience because they got married. Endless number of things. So your bad experience and your chant have nothing to do with each other. Your bad experience and anything that you're doing in your life has nothing to do with each other. This is what I've been trying to tell you continuously, that human experience is generated from within. What is happening from within, if you don't take charge of it, and you think a chant is doing it, it's a breeze, Sadhguru, breeze came like this, suddenly I felt miserable. This happened. I heard this sound, then I became miserable. I saw this person's face, it looked like that kala moo, whatever. What is that North Indian saying about it? What is that? Whatever, the bad luck face I saw, and suddenly I got into bad energy. God damn it, it's you. Get this straight, at least for the coming year. Get this straight. Bad experience, good experience, every kind of damn experience, the source is you. If you don't fix that, things will happen accidentally. Maybe an accident happened when you were chanting, but it could happen without the chant. It happens to millions of people around the world without any chant. Please.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. Sadhguru,
Where are you?
to your right.
Yeah.
In the next few weeks, there is a consecration happening in the Bangalore ashram of a Mahashul and the Nandi. Could you please tell us what is the significance of this?
2024, recklessly I've committed to too many consecrations. There is Nandi and Mahashula consecration on 15th of January, 22nd of June, I think, is Bhairavi consecration in United States. I've already committed to somehow complete the Kala Bhairava, and before that, we will have to do Naga consecration here, because we did not consecrate the Naga at that time. And 2025, Bangalore Bhairavi consecration. They're already talking about 2026, Mumbai consecration, 2027 Delhi consecration. These are all major consecrations. So these consecrations and initiations are terrible for me because I have to throw my life out. But that's what I'm here for. Otherwise, I can just fool around doing safe soil and something which is, doesn't take my life like this. But this needs to be done because when you are in a consecrated space, it touches you in what we refer to as the Vijnanamaya kosha. Well, for all the YouTube fans also I'm telling you, I'm not discouraging you, but it's fine to be inspired, but inspiration should lead to action. Why initiations and consecrations are important is, it touches you in your etheric body. You don't know what it is, you are clueless about what it is, that means you can't mess it. All right? If you know where it is, you will mess it. Now you don't know where it is, so you can't mess it. That is the safety of powerful initiations and consecrations. If I teach you anything, within 15 days you'll twist it and come back. You came to engineering, we spent so much time to tell you how your experience of life, your life is your responsibility. Sadhguru, I went home and told my husband that he's responsible for what's happening in the house and he just flared up. How do I do this? Hey, I told you you're responsible, why did you go and tell him he's responsible? No, you told me, but should I not tell him he is responsible? Like this, you'll twist it and turn it in 1,000 ways, whatever you learn. So that is why we found the safety of initiations and consecrations, so that it touches you in a place where you don't know how to mess it. Safety, insurance. Initiations and consecrations are insurance against foolish people who will constantly do something. See, if there is a wound which is healing, you can't keep your hands off. You have to scratch it and make it bleed once again because you can't keep your hands off things which are getting better within you. You will have to mess it. This is called as karma because old patterns play up. Old patterns have their own power, they play up. So, consecrated spaces are very, very important. For future generations, this generation and future generations, to know life in a more subtle way, not simply thinking of how to survive in the world. Right now, our education system largely has become how to survive better than somebody. Why somebody, it used to be MBBS, now it's MBA. It's a little shifted. Earlier, when we were growing up, you must do MBBS, otherwise you're just BS. Now it's MBA. Why? Because you can survive better than others. Not everybody, I'm not saying this about everybody, but not everybody is going into medicine because they have passion for knowing about human system and finding solutions for human health. There is no such passion in most of the people. They're going there because that qualification gives them some significance in the society. Maybe it makes money, maybe it gives prestige. The same goes for almost everything. I don't know, you may think my percentages are cruel, but I have been in so many universities speaking to students. Please tell me if I'm cruel, I'll calibrate my percentage a little bit. I think only about 15% of the students are really there for the passion of learning that subject which has somehow excited them. Rest are there because if you do this, you will get that in life. Am I being very cruel? That is the thing. So, to bring yourself to a possibility where your mind and your body becomes in such a way, see, both human body and human mind are a miracle. When I say miracle, it can do things that have never been done on this planet till now, that's a miracle. But most human beings are using it as a way to create misery for themselves. It's become a misery manufacturing factory. All the human misery, where is the manufacturing unit? Coimbatore? Where is it? In human mind. What a miracle it is, but what a mess most human beings have made out of it. So, in 2024, apart from the consecrations, we are launching a movement called Miracle of Mind, that we want to make sure at least 3 billion people in the next 18 to 24 months, we want to ensure at least 3 billion people will close their eyes and sit for 15 minutes a day. This will be a game changer in terms of mental illness. No, it's not yet done. It needs to be done, I'm saying. Hello? Oh, Sadhguru, you're going to do it, we're going to clap our hands. No. Hello? Shall we make it happen? So, you must understand, this is consecrating human beings. Simple processes with which the very atmosphere within you changes. It's important that human beings live like this, that you are like a living temple yourself. Wherever you go, certain change for the positive happens. It doesn't matter, there are people around you, plants around you, animals around you, just the air around you. Something should change because this is what a being means. If you know how to be, what is around you must change in your direction because that is the way it is. So consecrations are about this and as you know, it's in Chikkaballapur, well, it's a Bangalore center, but it's in Chikkaballapur. Chikkaballapur has many stories behind it for me, but it is also the former region of Vijayanagar Empire. We are going back again because since I started setting this up, Sadhguru Sannadhi in Bengaluru or Chikkaballapur, so many childhood stories are coming back to me. So many of them, lot of them related to Vijayanagar. What human mind can do means it's like this. It once happened, Krishna Devaraya fell ill, the king, the emperor, fell ill. All the doctors of that time, they came and examined, they gave many types of medicines, no recovery, day by day he is just dropping off. Then Krishna Devaraya sent word to Tenali Rama because all the doctors had failed and he's becoming feeble. So he said, Tenali, do something. He said, what can I do? I'm not a doctor, I don't know nothing about this. Do something, I'm just slipping away. So not knowing what to do, deeply distressed that his emperor is going to die, he just walked into the town, he was walking in the marketplace. He's a very observant person, he just looked around. He saw one shopkeeper sitting there with such state of misery and angst. He looked at him, he went to him and asked, why are you like this? So he said, what to do? I'm a sandalwood dealer. In my ambition to make money, I bought a huge stock, taking a big loan from someone, thinking I'll be able to sell this sandalwood. But there is no way I can sell this. The moneylenders will come and kill me anytime. Already they're hounding me at my home. They will take my life. There is nothing left for me. I have young children and a wife. I don't know what will happen. The only way, if at all, if I sell this sandalwood, the only way I can sell is if the king dies. Tenali Ramakrishna heard this and said, what did you say? He said, who else will buy this much sandalwood? Because kings and emperors were always cremated with sandalwood. Said, if the king dies, all this can be sold and my problem will be over. Tenali Ramakrishna said, just wait a minute, you be here, don't close your shop. He went home, got the money, he bought all the sandalwood. And the man smiled and he was very happy. The king recovered. Yes, you must understand, this is the way human consciousness works. If you invest without going on thinking what will happen, what will not happen, is it possible, not possible, if you invest your energies into what you want, it has to happen. There is simply no other way. This is the power of human consciousness, this is what it means. This is the only reason why of all the millions of species of creatures on this planet, we refer to you as a being. This is what being a being means, otherwise we are just creatures. This year, 2024, this should be your goal, that you will become a full-fledged being, not a creature of compulsive reactions to life, but a conscious being who creates what you want for yourself and for everybody around you as much as possible. It is possible to do this, it is just that we have not done enough about it. It is just that our education systems and our society has not invested enough to building great human beings. Without building a great human being, we are not going to build a great nation. Without building a great human beings, we will not create a great humanity or a world. This is the time to make it happen. Let's make it happen. I want to see some joy here.